My husband and I used to go on these backpacking trips with very young children. I think we started when our son was 2, and then we had a 3-year-old and a less than 1-year-old. And we all took our BearVaults, and we had a BearVault for diapers. And I mean, we really went to town with trying to make this whole backpacking thing work, and with denying that life was changing with kids. So we've used the product for a long time and we liked it. And over time, the original owner decided to retire. And part of that was just so that he was able to capture his summers and be able to go out and hike again. Around then, we were looking for a new business opportunity. We came in with experience with other startup companies and with operations, and so it seemed like a pretty good fit. So since 2017, we've been running BearVault. The origin of food protection in the backcountry is from the perspective of trying to keep wildlife wild. And ultimately, we're all going there to have a wilderness experience. And what we like about the wilderness is that it is wild and that there are wild animals there. And it's not just bears. Every animal really actually needs the natural nutrition from their normal diet. And food protection is becoming one of the biggest concerns in conservation because it does have such a massive effect on animals' behavior, their survival through winter, for birds, their migrations, their energy levels, and on their distribution, on where they spend their time and how they frequent areas. We don't have a lot of choice with some of the bigger animals who can get aggressive. So, there's a lot of talk of relocating bears. Overall, that doesn't tend to be very successful because they tend to already have the habit of going back to human sources of food. I have actually watched product testing. It's really kind of interesting because what you're watching is this creature with actually quite a intelligent and creative mind trying to figure something out. When you watch how agile a bear's tongue and mouth is, you start realizing their mouths are really their center of figuring things out and understanding the geometry of something or what might they try. They try throwing it around, they try pumping it. I even saw a bear take one into a water area and using the buoyancy as another axis of leverage. So they're incredibly intelligent. I don't think we always give them as much credit as we should. Occasionally, product testing can be boring. And this is when bears will try to figure something out and then they lose interest. But that's the whole point of the product, is that bears out there will sometimes encounter BearVault and they will try to interact with it. And the whole point is that they are unsuccessful and learn it's not worth their energy and they should just go on back to those natural sources of food. The number of people who are going outdoors and going into the backcountry for the first time has grown tremendously. And I think that's awesome on one front. On the other hand, it means a lot more people who are less experienced and need to kind of learn more and become educated about a lot of those aspects. I think also awareness is really only step one, because ultimately you have to pair that with a caring for making sure that you are taking care of nature and the environment. Caring about it is the part that's going to motivate us to actually do the right thing. And that's where we're really headed. Increasingly, we are a city-based society, and getting out of that whole city bubble, not just outside, but actually outside into nature, has just an incredible health value for our kind of mental well-being and our physical well-being. And it really allows us to decompress, it's kind of like therapy. We can start to think clearly because we're out in the outdoors. And so I think just having a system of trails where you've got really some of the most premier outdoor spaces to go and explore is of very high value to people. There are often forgotten items, and they're usually in your pockets. They might be a little candy or a chapstick, or you think about your sunblock and yeah, you're not eating it, but it still often has a scent, at least to a bear it does. And then I think what people also sometimes discount is that you're eating your dinner and you spill soup on your jacket, and your jacket should not go in your tent. It needs to go far away.